This is Michael Williams, founder of Start Speaking Training Center and creator of the PR90D Speech System. And hopefully you've been following these little mini-series, How to Improve Communication Skills. In the last video, we talked about if English is your second language. Because many of my clients, English is their second language. Now, they speak English quite well, but it is their second language. And so I have an understanding of what that's like. Not only that, I'm still learning Spanish myself, so I really understand what it's like to have a second language. In fact, one time I had to even teach a course in Spanish. I had to teach the course in Spanish. And I struggled, but my Spanish slowly started to get a little better. So I know what it's like. I know what the fear is like of having to stand up and teach something in Spanish when that's not your first language, and maybe you're not 100% fluent in it. I know what it's like. So let me share with you one of the strongest techniques for becoming an excellent communicator in English. An excellent communicator in general, but also in English. And this technique has to do with modeling, right? How do children learn to speak languages? Well, they don't necessarily read books at first. They don't do vocabulary, right? They don't listen to audio, in a sense. They model. They look around, they observe, they listen, and then they imitate. They copy their parents, their siblings. Whoever's around them, they copy. Now, as they get older, then they start to read and they start to watch and listen and imitate their friends and so forth. But initially, it's whoever's raising them, whoever they're around the most, they imitate. And so the brain is set up to acquire language skills in this way. And you can still do the same thing, right? You can still acquire language skills just by modeling someone, by observing, by listening to them, by watching, and then by imitating them. So if you want to improve your communication skills in general, I'm not just talking about in English or in any language, right? But if you want to improve your communication skills, then one of the things that you're going to want to do is to find someone to model. Find someone to model. Now, I know that when I was working on my Spanish, one of the things I would do is try to find someone whose accent I liked, right? Whose accent do I like? Whose style do I like? And I tried to get around that person, listen to them, watch them, talk with them, and imitate their style. And so then my style started to slowly become like their style. And eventually then it becomes my own style. So you can do the same thing. Find someone on TV, on the internet, or someone that's around you, and watch them, listen to them, and then try to imitate them to improve your communication skills in general, but if English is your second language, to also improve your what? Your English speaking skills, modeling. This isn't something you can do once and just say, okay, I modeled and that's it. No, you're going to have to do it. Do at least a little bit every single day until when? Until you don't have to do it anymore. And you'll know when that is, right? You got to stick with it until you don't have to do it anymore. So first thing you want to do that we talked about in video 1 is what? You set the vision. You say, I'm an excellent communicator. I speak extremely well, or I speak English extremely well, or Spanish, or whatever it is. And then you do what's necessary to become an excellent communicator. And in this case, one of the things that you probably should do to get you there the fastest is find someone to model, and then spend time studying that person, listening to them, and then practicing as if you are them. And you have to do this every day, a little bit every day, several times a week, every month, until you don't have to do it anymore. Does that make sense? All right, so I'll see you in the next video.